What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video, and today we're doing a update video on the Tahoe. So if you're into that, sit back and relax. As usual, I'm down by an area where there's a lot of airplanes and whatnot, so excuse the wind and chaos if that's what we're going to be hearing. As you can see on the ground, maybe, I also am dodging goose shit while I'm walking, so that's honestly no fun. But let's talk about the changes, because there have been quite a few changes. Now again, I know this isn't a Trackhawk, it's not a Hellcat, it's not, you know, a powerhouse and craziness, but it's cool. It's a daily, and if you're into that kind of thing, like I mentioned, I guess in a previous video, I bought this thing for like $4,000, had 150,000 miles on it. I'm the second owner, so the first owner was pretty much police, and I took it over from here. So let's start each side. So on the front, immediately what you can notice if you did look at the other video, which I'll probably link down below if I remember, we had a chrome disgusting bumper, we had the stock headlights, we had the ugly grille that was already peeling. Now this goes without saying, I don't normally endorse the heavy use of Plastidip, but for a $4,000 truck, this is a-okay in my book. I got rid of the chrome here. I put different taillights from eBay, the eBay specials, which actually ended up working out really well, and we Plastidip the whole grille. So that right there as a change was dramatic, and it made this front end look really nice. Oh, visually, what stands out here? The wheels, again, Plastidip special. The mirror, bought that as a replacement off eBay. Nothing else really done to the sides. I'm gonna step in goose shit. That's a loud ass airplane. The other one wasn't as loud. Oh boy. I really need to find a better place to film. I come down to this general area and find different spots at different times. It doesn't really work out for me. I'm gonna figure it out. One day I'll figure it out. So what do we got for the rear? We've got a Plastidip chrome setup back there. I even put Plastidip over the tow hitch because why not? Changed the taillights and the third brake light, and that's honestly it. Just those small things. The change, I think, is dramatic. It looks way more visually appealing. But is that all we did? No, of course not. This wouldn't be a good, cool video update. So what on a 20-year-old vehicle would make the creature comfort scale go up? We got remote. I don't know if you can see anything here. We've got a remote lock, unlock. Can do that. And then obviously I had to add the remote start to this. And then it does this whole extra chimey thingy. But honestly, how cool is that? How cool. In the morning for a daily driver. Pretty sure you guys have heard this before, but we do have Flowmaster Super 10. I don't know if you can see this. I just caught a shadow of something here. Hold on. I don't know how I could get that to show up. There's probably no way to get this to show up. There's a circle sticker that says NYPD. Well, I'll be damned, like as if I didn't know. So, cool thing about remote start is that you can remote unstart it. So what do we got for updates back here? Not a whole lot. Again, some of you know, some of you don't. I have two kids, so we've got a car seat base, and then we've got the actual car seat for the little princess, who's now, by the way, facing forward, and I love that. It's amazing, and I'll never stop being excited about that. One of the newest additions was this company. They make this stuff Tossits. So they're bags. There's like 10 or whatever. They go in the back. If you're a dad, if you're a parent, if you're a slob, if you're anything, this is great. Because I could just throw stuff in here, actual garbage, and then tear it off. I never have to worry about, like, you know, you get these people that throw garbage out the window. I never understood that. 2 seconds. I mean, for me, I would have put it there, but my daughter would kick the hell out of that and just destroy them because they're already getting, you know, pulled off a crazy bunch here now. But, you know, I don't like littering. I hate litterers, so doesn't sit well with me when it takes 2 seconds to put something away. This is cool, especially when you have kids. Booger Boogie Monster friggin' towels and whatever the hell you want to call it, that works. Now in here, this is where the biggest changes are about to be apparent. The only other complaint I ever had with this car, and I did make a video about it, was there was no radio. It was so ridiculous, and I thought when I bought it, I was just like, you know what, I'm gonna figure this out. And I did. So here we are inside the cabin, and we don't have to hear that airplane, which is amazing. One of the biggest things that I did was I changed this trim. They do make adapters, which is what this is. I changed this trim, and if you might be able to notice that there used to be a speaker here. If you follow me on Instagram, if you follow me on Snapchat, if you follow me anywhere where I would rant while I'm driving, you would have seen a JBL speaker here. And it's kind of stupid, it was dumb, but it's what got it's what got job done. It's what got the job done. I had a Bluetooth speaker because I always had my Pro Clip and my phone. So I've got this set up, and excuse that mess, but nothing else was changed except for this. What? Look at that. We've got touchscreen. So let me demonstrate without the risk of copyright or whatever. But it's a JVC. I know you could get some super expensive this or that and whatnot, but this is what I went with, and it's pretty awesome. Pretty excited. I get to do a lot of things. It's gonna connect. I got the tuner, so I could put radio. I've got phone, so I do have hands-free phone now, which I think is pretty sweet. And the microphone was thrown up here. So while I'm driving now, I'm in complete command. I don't have to have any view obstructing things here. I've got a cool setup. I feel like I've got a way more updated and modern look to this vehicle. It sounds good. Now, one of the cool things, I did mention this before, a lot of people were like, oh, why didn't you just buy a new truck? Like, I'd rather dump more money and mods into my family, my home, and my other vehicle, the one that matters a hell of a lot more. So what do I have tied into this? In the long run, it's so minor, it's minuscule, the amount of money into this thing. So it just worked out. And, you know, 157,000 miles. I think I got it maybe 4,000 or 5,000 miles ago. Maybe 6, actually. Don't quote me on this. So I think it was right after 150, because I think that's when New York retires the police vehicles, which would make sense why I'm the second owner. Pretty sure, almost positive, it was an NYPD related vehicle, probably detective somebody, because there was no cage or, you know, anywhere, I don't know, but it was pretty cool. I'm excited. At the risk of freezing, I'll tell you about the rest of the stuff. When you get a vehicle this old, a vehicle that's just about 20 years old, there comes with that territory a combination of repairs, maintenance, and whatnot you need to do. So when you take on a task like this, one of the things my buddy Troy told me about were the brake lines. I didn't really believe him until my brake lines completely gave out one day a couple months back. Thankfully, it happened in my driveway. It wasn't while I was driving, but the brakes went to the freaking floor, and we replaced all of it. So just kind of sort of to sum it up, and then what I'll do is probably record a little rev, a little throttle blip for you. So far, what do I have tied into this? As I just said, I changed all of the brake lines. I've got all new rotors, all new calipers, all new pads. Calipers were pretty much seized, where you would try to, you know, bleed the brakes. So couldn't really do anything with that. Had to change it. We've got new intake filter, new cabin filter. We got fuel injectors. We got fuel filter. We've got coil packs, plugs, wires. We have a knock sensor that I changed. We changed all of the O2 sensors because I was having an issue. I don't know if anybody ever had this, but usually when you're on the highway, anytime after 70 miles an hour, I was getting a flash and check engine light for a multiple random misfire or whatever it was. I couldn't figure out what it was because everything else was riding perfect in the street, never had an issue. It was only on the highway, and then sometimes I would be at highway speed. I would let off the throttle just to like slow down and just let it coast, and it would just backfire a little bit. So I figured the last change I made that's fixed whatever that was, it was either O2 sensors or coil packs. So it was one of those two things. After I did a lot of research online, I checked a lot of things, I changed a lot of things. That's what fixed it. I don't know which one of those two fixed it for sure, but it fixed it. That's pretty much it. Oh, and the tires. If you saw when I was outside, we did go with all-terrain tires. I like the look better. the tires I had on there, they were kind of like sketchy. They're a little dry rotted. They had plenty of meat on them, but they were dry rotting. For a vehicle that I got after my kids in, I just went out and bought new tires, and I'll show you those in a second again up close. They're pretty good. I like them. They feel good. On the highway, again, I've never driven with all-terrain tires before, so I don't know if it's one of those things where it's like, this is a common thing, but there is like a little bit of vibration sometimes on some types of roads, I think, after like 60, 70 miles an hour, but I don't usually go that fast with this old hoe, so it's not bad. Let's show you the tires real quick, and we'll do the exhaust clip one last time, and that'll pretty much do it for the update. There's not a whole lot else. The two main things were the radio and basically the remote start. Those were nice, and all the Plesty Dip, all that stuff, the headlights and taillights. It really changed the car, and you know, I wasn't going to do all of it, but it all started with the tires. So let's show you that next, actually. Just in case somebody was wondering, these right here are Falcon Wild Peak all-terrains. I think it says AT3Ws. They're really nice. I like the tread pattern. I'm very confident when I'm driving in the rain, the snow. I haven't really driven in too much snow yet, but just a little bit. Another thing we did when we changed the calipers and everything, obviously they weren't like treated, so we painted those calipers black, and you could see new brake lines. So everything's been changed and updated. So for an old girl, she's doing well. She's doing good. Can't really complain. I'm gonna put the camera down, buy some goose shit, and we're gonna get a quick exhaust blip, and then we're gonna get out of here, because it's cold and there's wind and fucking airplanes everywhere. How embarrassing. I'm used to making videos where I'm revving Hellcat motor powered things. Imagine if this is the time the cops come and then they're like, oh, what are you doing, bud? Oh yeah, I'm just revving the engine on my stock motor exhaust only 20-year-old Tahoe in the back of nowhere. Oh my god, how embarrassing. So anyway guys, that's pretty much it. There's not a whole lot else to say. If you're new to the channel, I'd appreciate it if you kindly subscribe. If you're an OCD OG, thank you so much for standing by my side through all the craziness. I do promise that there's going to be some more regular content. It's just everything gets pushed off, you know. I don't know if any of you guys with kids, with families, with any sort of actual life and career and responsibilities outside of holding a camera to record and whatnot. I don't know if you experienced that, but it's difficult at times. You can't commit. Anyway, I will say this Tahoe has been nothing but an awesome daily driver. It's got a little drone inside with the Flowmaster Super 10 put on, but honestly, you know, you got to expect some of that. Some of these guys are out here taking the cats off on top of the, you know, you could do a muff or delete, or put the Supermaster, or put the Flowmaster Super 10s with that, but I opted for just the Super 10. Yeah, let's just back up real slow. And go fucking 2 miles an hour. I don't understand. Anyway, like I said, some people decided to go full send on the exhaust. I can't imagine that would sound too amazing on the inside. On the outside probably sounds great, but for me, I think we're at a perfect setup. So, but anyway, that's why everybody's got their own preference. This thing rides like a champ for 20 years old. This thing is solid, it's sturdy, it sounds good, it looks good. I have no complaints. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. I've got a lot coming soon. I'll see you guys on the next one. And that's it. I'll see you.